I'm Debbie Julians. My father was the star of the 59 winning home game record back in the 1960s. Affectionately known as Lenny the Lion, as one of the fantastic Millwall staff said to me, "Cool, he could score a goal or two, well actually 3, especially with his head." This is a special broadcast in memory of our late chairman, John Berylson. Firstly, on behalf of all the No One Likes Us Talking team, our deepest sympathy goes out to John's wife, Amy, his children Jennifer, James, and Elizabeth, and his 6 grandchildren. I make no apologies for tears, for emotion, as if you love and respect someone, you can cry with them too. A stop-the-clock moment happened on the 4th of July. To suddenly lose someone you love, a special person like John, is devastating beyond words. Not being able to say goodbye, "I love you, I'm proud of you." I at least had that short time to tell my dad. Our hearts go out to John's closest family and friends. We were all robbed, but how lucky we were to have John in our lives. He was a force of nature, warm, funny and humble. He had an affinity with the UK, then a love for Millwall. He applied his passion, sheer will and determination, taking us to the cusp of the Premiership. Thank you, John. He understood Millwall, the players, the fans. He was one of us. He was the head of our family, Millwall family. I, for one, having lost my dad before social media, Millwall fans reached out to us and gave us great comfort and a drive to keep his legacy alive. That's why I'm here, part of the Millwall family. I know that John's family have taken great comfort too, so much that their family have requested that all the cards and messages of condolences be passed on to them. My thoughts are that my dad and the Lionhearts opened their arms to John in heaven, looking after him, all looking down with pride. After James Berylson's lion-hearted statement that he was to be our chairman by upholding his father's legacy, we all stand eternally grateful, proud, behind James and John's family in sadness and adversity. We all have come together to celebrate John's life and look forward with hope. This is why I love this club as one, together to achieve all John's dreams, now with James at the helm. We are the most fortunate club to have the Berylson family with us, a Millwall family. I paid my respects on Sunday alongside Jeff Burnige. I always have warmth, pride and get emotional when approaching the den. This time it was overwhelming. I took a long time, stared, wiped away the tears and took a deep breath. I joined other Lions. Here are some of their thoughts about John.
Hello, Keith McGregor. I'm with my boy Lucas. We're season ticket holders in Block 16. I've been coming for years and years and years. Just want to say a massive thank you to John Berylson and wishing all the best to all his family. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Right, hello. My name's Tony Opoku. Sitting in the West Upper with me boy Josh and Olivia, who's now got a ticket for next season. We're here down at the Den to show our respects to the great chairman who has sadly passed away. Words cannot really express how we feel at the moment, but we are deeply grateful for everything he's done for the club, for us as fans, and then obviously for the players.
I'm Jackie. I run the Millwall pub, the Blue Anchor.
And what's your name? Beverly.
On behalf of the Blue Anchor, you're going to be sorely missed. I mean, you're a big legend in that pub. You know, you mean the world to them there, and they're in pieces. I just want to say that your memory will carry on, and I hope Millwall will do better this season and win it this season, and they love you.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Go ahead, Dean.
Okay, just come down today to pay our respects to a wonderful chairman, John Berylson. Tragically sad news, and God bless you, John. Thank you for everything you've done for Millwall, and you're in our thoughts forever. Thank you.
How long have you been a supporter, Dean?
Actually, since I was, not all my life, like my son here, 27, since I was about 13, 14, someone brought me down to the Den. Grandad used to try and take me down to the valley, come down to the Den when I was 13, 14, and that was it. Our good friend David Ratty basically changed my life for the better regarding football. So.
And today you've brought Jack, your son.
Jack's 27, Alice is 25.
Alice.
They've been coming down here since they could walk. And it's a special club. And
John was a lovely man. I met him when I was about 9 years old. Asked how I was. Asked how he was. Lovely man. I appreciate everything he's done for us.
And your name is?
My name's Callum Amos. This is my brother Frank.
Hi Frankie, what would you like to say?
John was a lovely person and he's done a lot for us at Millwall and especially got us into the Championship and he's done a lot for us.
Put in a lot of money for the club, we wouldn't still be roaring without him, so we appreciate everything he's done for us. God bless you, John. Rest in peace.
Lovely words, so true about the roaring. How old are you?
I'm 11.
11?
I'm 17.
17,
yeah.
Lovely boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello, Andy Elsley, sitting in the West Upper, Block F. Just really like to say rest in peace to John. Only ever met him once and shook his hand, but just feels like a family member dying. So thank you, John, for everything.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Livy, a season ticket holder, sit at Block 32. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the best chairman of all times.
So Mark, season ticket holder, Block 32. Just want to say thanks to the greatest chairman, not only of Millwall Football Club, but I think as long as I've known football at least anyway. Thanks for the memories, thanks for the great times, and you'll stay within our hearts and stuff forever.
Thank you very much.
Hiya, I'm Sean Daly. I'm the CEO of the Millwall Community Trust. My first memories of John were really when I was given the opportunity by himself to take over a great organisation, being the Community Trust. John really knew about the impact a football club could have and the impact that a community trust could have on the local community and how it could enrich their lives, help change their lives and make their lives even improve. And he continued that all the way through my tender, at the trust at the moment, where we've moved into Kent. The big thing that he wanted, that we build this training ground, but most important is that we bring the community trust to the training ground. So he gave me a great opportunity and he never interfered at any time within that. He just let me go with it, come up with ideas of how I'd like the club to be seen and how he would like his vision and how he would like those people engaged with it. My big memory about him was really the last community day. John has always been about, I want to showcase the community trust, I want to show what we do. And he was by pitch side and I was there with all the participants and the mascots and the guard of honour, and he took time to talk to everyone and shake their hands and ask them about their journey and their engagement with Millwall Football Club. He didn't need to do that, but he wanted to have time with everybody and just to find out, what they got from the club and how the club had helped them and supported them. His big thing was that wherever we go, we are a major part of the club. We would be that leverage at Sevenoaks. We would be that leverage with Lewisham Council because of the impact we do. When I heard the news on Tuesday, I received a call from the club to say, this is what's happened. And it was a lot to take in at the time because end of the season was, the last time I saw him, and we've had conversations through Steve Kavanagh about different things that were going on and the future. And it takes a lot out of you and took a lot out of my staff. And I found it very difficult to tell my staff at the time. And it took me a long time to sort of take on what's happened and then to write my thoughts in there. All I can ever say to John is I want to thank him for that opportunity, that trust he has in the community trust and what we can do. And we will continue his legacy with the work that we do going forward. The memorial down there and the supporters was just unbelievable. I spoke to a lot of the supporters during the week. Their thoughts of John and their memories of John and the work that he'd done for the club But then I took time out to bring my family down on the Saturday, because not only had he done for me, give me that opportunity, but gave my family that opportunity to be involved with Millwall, and I wanted them to come down and have that respect with him as well. He's always going to be in my thoughts, and everything I do now, I will think, well, you know, would John be happy with what I'm doing? And I'm sure he would. And I hope that we've got in a position where the trust is, he's very proud of the trust and the impact the club has on that local community.
Hi Kay, Mona's Miss Popcorn.
That's right. What did I think of John? Well, he was one of these that you knew he was in the ground, but he kept really quiet, and you knew that he was so proud of everyone, the players, the staff, the fans. We'd often look up at the balcony and he was just going mad, but in a good way. And that's the best thing that you can see when your chairman is loving every minute of it. He'll be so sadly missed. Even now, we wake up and we think something has changed, but he will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, John. We love you lots.
Hi Amy, I believe you used to work here.
I did, yeah, for 10 years. It was an honour to work under such a wonderful man, and he will be truly, truly missed, and yeah, we'll miss you, John.
Thank you. Steve.
Hi there. Yeah, well, it's just a big thank you for John. It's just, he come in, changed the club, I think, and he's what he's done was amazing, for not just for the club, for the community and for the supporters and everything. I think he'd be truly missed. Absolutely truly missed. It was very nice.
Hello, good afternoon. My name's John Rankin, and Debbie Julians has asked me to do a quick voice note for the No One Likes Us Talkin podcast. It's one of these coincidences that happen a lot at a family club like Millwall, because Debbie Julians' father was Len Julians, who some will know was a fantastic centre forward for Millwall in the late 60s. Basically, yeah, this is obviously a sad occasion, the passing of John Berylson. I mean, I can't say I knew John Berylson. I did talk to him in the car park, and he seemed a very genuine guy. He thanked me once for thanking him for everything he did for the club, and so he genuinely connected. And I mean, I go back to when we had a chairman called Purser, and we used to go and put his windows through down the Old Kent Road because he sold Gordon Hill. So there's a bit of a difference there. But no, that's a bit controversial. But each chairman to his own. But yeah, it's very sad. So I'm here just to tie a shirt up with a message on.
What's your message on there?
It simply says R.I.P. John Berylson from John and Rufus Rankin. I'm going to go and tie it on one of the barriers now. So thanks very much.
Very
Thank you.
Special. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Rufus. Just come up here with my dad today to pay respects for John Berylson as well. And it's such a sad time for the club this year. I'm still shell shocked about the news and what's happened, and it's just amazing to see everyone coming up here and paying their respects. And yeah, what a brilliant chairman he was for us. And yeah, hopefully his family will be able to continue running the club as well. And it's just such a sad time for the club. But yeah, rest in peace, John Berylson.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to thank John Berylson for everything that he's done for Millwall Football Club. He's been a top man, and really a top man for this club. It's been a pleasure working for him as well. Rest in peace, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter McCormack, I've been supporting Millwall sort of over 30 years now, so can't believe what he's done for our club. He's just come down, give our respects and wish his family, you know, all the best going forward. And yeah, just like to say thanks for everything he done.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Harry. I'm here today to pay my respects to John Berylson. Was an amazing chairman, and yeah, grateful for everything he's brought to this club.
Here's Alan Dunn.
Well, obviously, I didn't think I'd be having this conversation for the reasons I'm having it, but obviously we all heard the news, and it was breaking news from Millwall, and like any time you look at your phone and you think it might be a sign of a player, and it was obviously Millwall put a statement out that our chairman had sadly passed away. News that not only shocked Millwall fans, but I think shocked the footballing world in general. Myself, known John since 2006 when he came in, and I was in shock, gutted. I went to pay my respects last at the club, and it was only then it hit me. Pulling into the Den, I could feel the energy in the stadium. I'd lost someone special, and I could feel that pulling in. As soon as I got out of my car, I was almost in tears. Looking at the shirts, the flowers, the American flag. I stood there at a moment, and it really, really hit me then. I realised that what had really happened. I queued up with the fans, and I see many faces that I've known over the years, and the greeting was different to my usual greeting, because it was a greeting of we were sharing an emotional, sad time. And I had my 2 kids with me, and I queued up and I went in and left a message in the Book of Condolences. There was a candle lit with John's face and a picture of John. And again, it was an emotional moment for me. Having known John for so long, and having not only worked for him as a chairman, but as a friend. So we kept in touch. When I left, we'd speak regularly by text or on the phone. And that just showed the sort of person John was. I was long gone from the club, but we still kept in touch, and he still had interest in my family and what I was doing at Bromley. And that showed the sort of character John was. My memory of him when he first came in, I knew nothing about John Berylson. 2006, he came in the first time we met him as players. He came in, American, looked like a big business owner, oversized jacket as the Americans sometimes wear. And when he spoke, at first he was. You knew that he'd come from America because he called Foley a goaltender, not a goalkeeper, and that was an American way of the way they speak about football is different in America than it is in England, and that gave the boys a chuckle. The fact that he called Foley a goaltender. John was someone that I felt like everyone. He fell in love with the club, and whether that was his initial vision, I think having been at Millwall, and hence once you're a Lion, you're always a Lion. I think John, once he understood what Millwall was, I think he fell in love with it. And I think that people who come to Millwall and understand that will understand what I mean. Once you go and you're in it and you feel it and you understand the passion and the fans and the club, you do fall in love with it. And I felt John, he got that. He fell in love with the club, and then what he did and invested in it, he was hooked, like we all are with Millwall. So only good memories with John. He was very good for me. He was for me and myself, and I'll miss him, and like many will, Millwall will miss him. I can only thank him for what he not only did for the club to put us back on the map, for myself and the club, but for the Millwall community, the Millwall family. He really got the club. We've only got good things to say about him, and like I said, there's not many chairmen no one's got a bad word to say about John. So I send my condolences to his family and to his friends, and he'll always be remembered in my heart and the heart of many Millwall.
It's Derek Charman, Block 10. Can't get my head around what's happened, and it's just so devastating. A very sombre mood here at the Den, and John will be missed. A true legend, probably the greatest chairman we've ever had. But on top of that, he was a true gent.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Byron Webster here. Obviously it's a sad time for the Millwall family at the minute. Mr. Chairman was a big part of what has happened at Millwall and what's going to happen with Millwall in the future, with the plans of the new training ground and the team progressing on and off the pitch. Just want to give my thoughts and best wishes to obviously the chairman and to his family, and hopefully he gets the send off he deserves.
Thank you very much, Byron.
Will Horton, been a supporter for Millwall all my life. Obviously it's a family thing. My old man took me and made me suffer for all these years, so when my little one gets a bit older I'll take him and make him suffer. But shocking news about John. I mean, don't really get chairmans on that personal touch no more in the game, and you can tell by all the ex-players and obviously even other clubs saying how condolences. So it's very shocking, and it's hopefully his son decides to carry on the mantle. Otherwise it's a bit of an uncertainty for the club, but hopefully his son carries it on, and his legacy and everything we do as a club now is all in his memory, and hopefully next year we can go up to the Premiership in his memory.
Right, my name's Paul. I've been supporting Mill since I was 7. I'm 59 now, and I think John's probably one of the best chairmen we've ever had. Looks after the fans, cared for the fans and the players as well. The stories you've heard from the players, he was well loved by everyone, and we're going to greatly miss him.
Hello, this is Chris Bethel. We're at John Berylson's Book of Condolence signing. A lovely man. Every event I had, he participated in. Dockers Day, Santa's Ghetto at Christmas, he would sit in there and have his photos done with all the children, walk around the ground. I mean, what other chairman done that? I thought he was a great man. He loved the fans, he loved the events, and I think the fans loved him.
And do you think there'll be a permanent tribute?
I would hope so. There have to be something, whether it's naming a stand. I don't know about a statue, but naming a stand I would have thought definitely.
Here's Jeff Burnige. Here's Brian King.
I go back a long way with the chairman as such. I didn't meet him that much, but I was honoured in 2007 when I was 60 to be inducted into what I presume was the Hall of Fame of Millwall, and presented on the pitch with dear Phil Walker, and was then invited up into the boardroom where I met Jeff Burnige and the chairman John Beresford, and never met him before. He was introduced to me and he showed me great respect, and I thanked him for that, and he also thanked me for my service to the football club as a goalkeeper who has made more appearances for Millwall than any other goalkeeper, which he seemed to know an awful lot about. His history of the club was brilliant, and I thought that the fortunes of Millwall Football Club were going to be in good hands, and of course, as we know, Jeff Burnige was one of those responsible for bringing him into the football club. What's happened this last week has been not only a shock to fans and the club, but also to myself. It was funny because I was arriving over in England on Tuesday when I got the news, and was deeply shocked to hear what had happened. And my dear friend, the former chairman, Jeff Burnige, rang me up and said, I'm going to go and sign the book of condolences. Would you like to join me? And of course I said yes, and over we went, and to meet some of the supporters who were there, who were like myself, I think stunned and couldn't really work out that it had happened. And when I got upstairs, and you know, I didn't expect any special treatment. There's nothing. I'm just a fan now, and I stood in line and waited my turn and sat down and wrote the few words that I could, and I wrote that this was a guy who was a Millwall man, and this Millwall man showed me a lot of respect, and it was my turn to come to the football club and show him the respect that he deserves. I think personally he's going to be in safe hands up there. He's got big kitch in front of him. He won't let anybody touch him. He'll keep him safe. And God bless you, Chairman, and thank you for what you've done for Millwall, and I hope your family continues.
Hi, I'm Talia. I play for Millwall Under 12, and it's very sad that John Berylson has died.
Hi, it's Grace Seeley here from the Lionesses. I was just talking to my brother actually about all the fond memories that we have. We're sending our love to family and friends, and thank you so much for all of your contribution to the club.
Hi, I'm Amy. I play for Millwall Lionesses and I'm also a Millwall fan. The loss of John is a real big hit to the club. He done so much for the club and he just got it as a football team.
Paul Loading from the Millwall Romans, and we just want to add our sympathies to John's family. I think it speaks volumes with the reaction that it's had with the fans, with previous players and current players that have come out in massive tribute to him, to what an outstanding guy he was, and what an outstanding chairman. And I think he's done an incredible job with Millwall, and I think everything filters down a lot from the chairman. And we owe him our thanks for being part of the Millwall club. I have only one memory from him when he appeared in the end of season award at the Den. He appeared on a Zoom call, just saying that it was unlikely that Millwall will be able to get into the playoffs unless all these different things happened. And he was a very charismatic guy. And we wish, obviously, his son James all the best in the future. I hope he can continue the legacy.
Here's Jeff Burnige.
Most of us have found it difficult to come up with the right words when talking about John Berylson. I can only echo the words that our supporters found when they were attending the Den to sign the Book of Condolence, many of which form part of this podcast, and also the words of others, including Brian King and Alan Dunn, two fantastic former players who, like John, became lovers of Millwall Football Club once they were here and experienced it. I had two tasks when I came in as chairman. The unpleasant one, following Theo, who'd been a successful chairman, was to avoid a second administration because the financial position was dire and would have put off any new chairman. Peter de Savary came in for a few months, but then in 2006 he resigned, and we learned of the interest of John Berylson. Although I was no longer chairman by then, I believed we had found the new owner that we had dreamed of. That December he proved it to me when I asked him to personally fund the Christmas wages for the entire staff, which the club could then not afford to do. And that was before he even owned a single share. In the new year, in 2007, he was effectively the boss from then on. But after making a watching brief, he became chairman in 2007 and immediately appointed Kenny Jackett. And I think the club's success, with one hiccup, has continued from then, showing how wise John was in his selection, is certainly in most of the managers that he appointed. Our success since then shows he really was a chairman that we had dreamed of. The financial backing was massive, so impressive. But beyond that, the relationship he formed with the club, with the fans, with the staff, with everybody he came into contact with, meant that he was someone that was almost beyond my and our wildest dreams. We welcome now his son James, and we know he will carry on his dad's work. In August, we will celebrate against Bristol City the life of John in front of all our supporters. But even before that, when we went to Gillingham for our first public pre-season friendly, it was obvious the esteem in which he was held. Obviously, Neil Harris, our previous manager who John appointed, and Gary Rowett, our current manager who John appointed, they jointly carried on the wreath and placed it in front of the section of Millwall fans on the far side. And together with the players, everybody applauded and showed their appreciation of John. I'm looking forward to the Bristol City game, and I'm sure that will be a memorable occasion and worthy of this great chairman.
Eamon here. We hope you appreciated the memories and thoughts of fans, Millwall staff, former players, Millwall Lionesses, Romans and Pride, in paying their respects to our late chairman, John Berylson. In closing, former chairman Jeff Burnige drew his conclusion on what he had witnessed and expressed his sadness and hope. After all, it was a collection, or should I say, just a drop in the ocean of the number of people that attended the Den to express their thoughts in many different ways in massive numbers. Lastly, Millwall No One Likes Us Talkin's Our Millwall Fan Show will return for season 23-24 on Friday the 28th of July, ahead of our friendly game against Fortuna Sittard. Don't miss it. There'll be lots of interesting things to pick up on.